Record. All right, here we are. Welcome, Dawn. It's so nice to have you with me here. I'm excited to get to check in with you here and see how things are going. How are you doing today, Dawn?
I am doing fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And thanks again for your time. The first question that I have for you, Dawn, is what was going on in your world that made you want to check into Donna and decide to join the program? So I'm just curious, like, did you see Donna somewhere else before, or what was the initial connection to Donna?
I initially saw her through the National Speakers Association in Central Florida. She came and spoke. I'm not part of the Speakers Association, I'm part of the Speakers Academy. So I'm
Oh, okay.
starting to dip my feet in the water. I know I have a message to share. I know I want to do speaking. One of the businesses that I'm currently operating to earn income is a coaching business.
Oh,
So
great.
so I'm in the process of trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up and what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I was, when I heard her speak, I was fired up. And then each month when I go to the Speakers Academy, Fyrebrand is a sponsor. So I've been able to continually hear the message each month. And yeah, I'm like hooked.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So a lot of people haven't heard Donna actually speak. They don't even realize sometimes they know that she's like, the coach's coach and she's this
Right.
awesome like business acceleration, revenue acceleration coach. But a lot of people don't even realize that she is an international speaker as well. I'm just curious, what were your first thoughts of her when she was on the stage?
Oh my gosh. I absolutely jived with her. I want to say she had sneakers on, which excited me. She had so much energy and fire. She didn't give a lot of BS, which, a lot of times speakers go up there just to hear themselves talk. She gave tangible, actionable items. And honestly, when I heard her speak, I didn't know what I wanted to be doing. You know, I didn't know that she was even a coach at all. That's not what her purpose there at
Oh,
the Speakers Academy was. So I didn't know she coached anything. I just was like, I love this woman. Whatever she says, I want to follow it.
that is so cool. That's awesome. And then, so I guess my next question for you, Don, is like, so you heard Donna speak
Mhm.
and you were at the speaking academy. You feel like you have a message to share with the world. And then,
Right.
so what was going on, or I guess what was the deciding factor to make you want to work with Donna?
Right. So I totally opted into one of the freebie PDFs, whatnot. I saw that she had this boot camp coming up and I was intrigued by it, but didn't really know how that fit in with me. I really thought that I was wanting to be a speaker. But I knew that I didn't want to be speaking on the road all the time. I really wanted like this lifestyle. I want to earn money. Let's face it. I want to
Sure.
share a message. I want to impact people. I want to earn money, but I don't want to totally burn myself out. And I I believe you called me one day. I answered the phone. I actually didn't recognize it came through with like a name on it. And I was like, oh, maybe I know this person. I'll answer. And I was really excited to talk to you because I knew that at some point I wanted to work with Donna. I didn't know how, I didn't know why. It was like one of those things like stirring inside. There was no logic to it at the time because I really wanted to work on speaking. And that's not like her thing. Like, that's not what she's teaching necessarily. And so being able to talk to you was huge. Literally at the time that you reached out to me, I had committed to writing my keynote. And
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, okay, I'm going to write this keynote in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to knock it out. I'm going to get it done. So I have something to work off of. But I was struggling with it. Like I thought I knew my
Ah,
message. I thought I knew what I wanted to share and it wasn't coming out. So I knew I was stuck and I knew I was doing things kind of out of order. I get ahead of myself.
hmm.
And so I think I need to do one thing. So I start doing it. And I didn't know what my message was. And when I got a chance to talk to you and then dig into what Donna does, I was like, I need her because I can't do anything without the clarity. Like I was missing that clarity. And like that's what she does. She gives you clarity and then tells you how to run with it.
Yeah. So was that piece for you is just like getting real clear? Because I find this a lot of times too, where people, they kind of jump to the marketing or the sales, or they want to
Mhm.
blow up their business and everything, but they're not really clear. They don't have that expertise nailed down and everything. So,
Right.
so that's the piece that you came to Donna looking for, was help with that clarity and that
Right.
focus foundation,
Right.
that expertise, ideal client, and how you wanted to deliver and everything. So you are,
Right.
so I guess Dawn, you just started with Donna recently. How
Yeah.
far into the
About a week and a
program are you?
half.
About a week and a half. Okay, a
Yeah.
week and a
Oh
half.
yeah.
So, and I guess then in a week and a half, can you tell me like what are some of the wins that you've
Yeah.
gotten so far?
My life like has completely changed in a week and a half. I am so fired up. Literally on that first call, I got off the call and I called like all my friends and like I know what I'm doing now. That first call was worth every penny of my investment.
Awesome.
If I didn't have another call with her, if I didn't go to the boot camp, like just getting that clarity and knowing where to like what direction I'm even going in. Now, of
Yep.
course, the second call made it even clearer. And I have another call tomorrow. But just gaining that clarity from somebody that's been there, done that, has a clue. Right? I don't want somebody that hasn't done the things to say, oh, yes, you should work in this area when that area is not going to earn me money, get me gigs, get me in companies where I can work with people. So having that benefit was huge to me. But, I sat on that first call. I mean, you make a huge investment and you're a little terrified. And
Uh-huh.
I told her on that first call, I said, my biggest fear is that you are not going to find an area of expertise in me.
Oh,
Like I know there's all these pieces, but like it's not clear to me. And I was like, I'm so worried. And she literally told me like 5 minutes into our call, she goes, oh, you have an area and I already know what it is. I just need, and she said, I just need to have this conversation with you to validate it.
ah,
And I'm like, okay. And, she just looked snapshot through my social media, probably looked at the notes from the calls that you and I had. And I was worried. I was like, look, my social media is all about fitness and nutrition because that's a coaching business I have. But like, I know that's not my area of expertise and that's not what I want to do long term. And she looked at me and she goes, oh, yeah, that's not your area of expertise. And then I was like, I felt really assured, but then I was like nervous. I was like, I hope my clients don't think that. Right.
right.
And even though they're not there for the fitness and nutrition, they're there for the coaching, which gets them the result. And so I just, in that like first 15 minutes, I knew I was in the right hands. She was going to take me exactly where I needed to go and show me the steps to get there. And then on our second call, she was like, okay, now let's create your methodology. I was like, oh, let's do it. Show me how. Teach me.
Awesome. Awesome. And I guess when you say methodology,
Mhm.
is that something that you were familiar with before you connected with Donna?
So I thought I had a methodology for what I thought I wanted to do, but it really wasn't a methodology. It was like, an acronym that I was like, oh, these are cool words and this is sort of a thing. And I
Yep.
can and it was something that I could talk about, but it wasn't something that I could necessarily take and transfer across the board. It's not something that I
Right.
could take and do with my fitness and nutrition clients and then go take into a company and teach them how to do this same thing. Um, and so I didn't realize there was actually a process,
Yes.
and starting to put that together and starting to lay that out, it's going to make what I do with my fitness and nutrition clients, it's going to elevate what I'm doing with them. It's going to help that business as I'm getting my other business going. And it's really just the clarity. I mean, that I can't drive home anymore. Like what she's given me is clarity. And that's the biggest gift in the world.
Yeah. That is so awesome to hear. And I know I've heard, and you've probably heard Donna say this too, but your money is in your methodology.
Hmm.
And it took me a long time to realize that too. And I love how Donna breaks that down. And it's pretty cool, like how you can get to this point of clarity. And once you get there, it's like all of a sudden now you realize that that methodology is my process of transformation. And I can apply that in numerous ways to generate
Right.
revenue, right?
Right. And what was exciting is, I thought I wanted to try to be getting these speaking gigs. And she's like, no, when you are in your methodology and you are in your area of expertise, it's going to all flow. You're going to get speaking, which is then going to get you into companies, which is then going to get you to the individuals. And so I mean, without getting ahead of where I'm going, like I'm excited to get my methodology figured out, really live in my expertise, and then start figuring out my programs and my packages and all of the cool things that are going to come. And what I love is I knew it was a no-brainer. I was going to get ROI. Like
Yep.
whether I did anything with this area of expertise that she and I were focusing on, I knew it would at least help a business that I already had going. And I can already see how that's going to benefit everything I do in my other business, which is like, I mean, it's like,
Well, that's so amazing. And can you imagine, like, what do you think it would have cost you by not doing this? Like, what would have the result have been had you not made this decision to invest in yourself and invest in this program?
it would just, I can't put a dollar on it. It would just be so much time and so much effort and so much frustration. I probably would have eventually hired a coach for something, but it wouldn't have been the thing I needed.
Yep.
And really, what I needed is the clarity. And that's a piece that I fortunately knew I needed. I have invested in myself with a coach specific to my other niche. And so I understood the benefit and the value of that and doing it early on. I know this is what I want to be doing. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I need to get it right out of the gate because it's silly not to. Like, why go back and fix everything that I'm going to do wrong on my own?
Right, right, right. And Dawn, I know that you are a very successful athlete and you've had lots of other coaches. So I know that you believe in coaching. I'm just curious, what would you tell someone who's never experienced Donna's coaching before? What do you think makes Donna's coaching so much different than what other people might think of as coaching?
Right.
I'm just curious.
I mean, it goes right to the methodology, right? She's teaching me how to create methodology, but she's utilizing her methodology to take me through. I know exactly where I am and what I'm doing, and I know exactly where she's going to take me each step of the
Awesome.
way. And so
Awesome.
I know what's coming, which also keeps me really excited. I was like, okay, I got to get through these things so I can get to this cool stuff. And I know that there's a system and a plan, and she's not just making it up as she goes. And I know that the method that she's using, I mean, I know it's been proven over and over again. And so it's really cool to watch her use the method on me as I'm going to be doing that to other people eventually.
Right, exactly. Isn't it cool? Because now you're going to take what she's teaching you and you're going to be able to pass that along to your clients and deliver with that same level of consistency and impact.
Right. And I think there's a lot of coaches out there. They call themselves coaches or like life coaches, business coaches. And I don't think they have like a real plan. They just say, okay, I'm going to see where you're at. And then they kind of make it up as they go. I don't know if that's actually what they do, but it sure sounds like it when I've seen them. And
Sure.
I was like, I had been on a coaching call with somebody. I wasn't looking that high, but I was just sort of curious what she did. And I was like, I don't think this lady has a clue what she's doing. I jumped in one of her, very inexpensive opportunities. It was like a 3-day coaching thing. And I was like, oh, I know more than she's teaching. I could
Hmm.
teach this better. I want no part of this.
Yeah.
This isn't somebody I'm ready to invest in. With Donna, I'm like, oh my gosh, everything she says is like gold. I try to write everything down
I
as I'm
know.
absorbing it. I'm like, what is she saying now?
Yeah. Have you had the hand cramps yet? Because we always say you better bring some hand cramp cream if you're trying to
Oh my
take notes
gosh.
with her.
And I have the worst handwriting of all time. So I'm like, I know this was so good. And one day I'm going to be able to figure out what I wrote.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, Dawn, if there's anybody that's listening to this and watching
Mhm.
this that's on the
Absolutely.
fence and thinking about whether or not they should join, I guess what's something that you might say to them?
Do it. If you want, I mean, if you want a business, if you want to make an impact, there's no reason not to. I mean, figure out the money, figure it out. I mean, I know that's the biggest barrier for people, or so they say. If this is actually what you want to do, you got to figure out a way to make it work. And she's going to take you where you need to go. You will get your money back. Like, you will earn it back, whether you earn it back doing the exact thing that you came to her for, or it's going to transfer into everything else you do. I mean, just watching her, I'm already better on a sales call, right? I already have new ideas for how I can change up what I'm doing with my clients to get them better results, which is then going to get me more clients. I mean, if you're serious about wanting to earn money, you just have to make it happen.
That's awesome. Well, Don, I have to tell you that it has been an absolute pleasure working with you. I love your energy, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds as you just continue to go down this path with Donna and figure out exactly what that message is and how you want to deliver it and everything, because I have no doubt that you're going to change the world and your clients. I'm so excited for them. Thank you so much for your time today and for this check-in opportunity. and just for all of the expertise and all of the incredible things that you bring to the world, because we are all about changing the world and making it a better place. And we are so, so fortunate that you decided to be a part of our program, and we really appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you for being really good at what you do, because I didn't know I even wanted or needed to work with Donna. And so to have the right people working for her, asking the right questions. I mean, so many salespeople, right? They don't want to reach out. It's hard. You reached out and changed my freaking life, like with a
Oh,
phone call,
Dawn.
like, like literally. So thank you for being really good at what you do.
Oh, you're very welcome, Dawn. Thank you. That means the world to me. I just respect you so much and everything. So for you to say that, I just thank you. That just made my day. So I really appreciate it. So
Thank you.
awesome. Well, thanks again for your time, and I will talk to you soon.